It's the Law.
Welcome to It's the Law, a program produced and presented by the Guyana Association of Women Lawyers. On this program, we're given an in-depth look at Guyana's laws. This week, the topic is divorce.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. My name is Diane Wolford, and I am a member of the Guyana Association of Women Lawyers. As part of our ongoing series on several legal topics that are of particular interest to both women and children, this week I will cover the topic of divorce. I'll outline what a divorce is. I will identify the legislation that guides this area of the law, and then I will identify some of the legal reasons that will entitle you to file for a divorce. I'll then finally conclude by indicating some of the documents needed and perhaps how this process may be initiated. So divorce is essentially a legal process to end the marriage. Now, from the onset, I want to identify that the association does not necessarily recommend a divorce. It is, however, a legal process that has sometimes occurred for several reasons. And so to divorce your partner, husband or wife, it requires you to make an application to the High Court, and this is often done by way of petition. The judge, however, must be satisfied that you have legal reasons to end your marriage, and once this has occurred, then you will be issued with a decree absolute, and that is a court order that essentially says that your marriage has legally ended. And so what must you prove, or what are the legal reasons that the court considers or accepts in your application? Now, from the onset, it must be noted that a divorce may be contentious or non-contentious, and so irrespective of which form it takes, one of the reasons includes adultery, and there's also the ground of cruelty, malicious desertion, insanity, or rape. All right, and so the legislation guiding this area of the law is the Matrimonial Causes Act, the Custody, Contact, Guardianship and Maintenance Act, as well as the High Court Family Rules and Procedure Rules 2016. All right, so now that we've covered the reasons you must prove, adultery, cruelty, malicious desertion, insanity, and rape, we've also identified the legislation governing this area of the law, the Matrimonial Causes Act, the Custody, Contact, Guardianship and Maintenance Act, the High Court, Family Proceedings and Procedure Rules. Now we'll discuss how can we initiate this process? And from the onset, it is important to know that the High Court rules, family proceedings and procedure, does allow individuals to initiate this process. In fact, they may initiate the process by going to the family registry, making an application, and the staff there will be able to assist them with filling out some of the forms and answering their questions and such. However, one of the more common ways that people initiate a divorce or the divorce process is by using an attorney at law, and that attorney at law will guide them on several areas, the procedural areas that it entails, and the attorney at law will also assist them with clarifying some of the documents needed to file the divorce petition. All right, so we'll go through the procedure, and then I'll conclude by indicating some of the documents that you'll need as part of this process. And so once you visit an attorney at law, the attorney at law will first indicate that you'll need to prepare the divorce petition, and the divorce petition is essentially a legal document that requests the court grant you a divorce. And in the petition, you will set out several factors, which will include your name, your address, your occupation, the husband or wife's name, depending on who's the applicant, your address, where you were married, the date of your marriage, and a list of the places that you've lived since you were married, the names and dates of birth of, if there are children involved, your children, and set out the reason you want to divorce. Earlier in my discussion, I indicated that there are 5 legal reasons that are permissible, and so in where you place why you want to divorce, you will set out one of these reasons that the court considers as a legally valid reason, and then perhaps the date that you have been separated. And so those core issues will be included in the divorce petition. And then where children are involved, you'll prepare a statement of arrangements for these children. And of course, this will set out information on the children, who they are living with, the details of the costs of maintaining them, and whether you intended to apply for custody. So for instance, if you're making the application, you need to identify whether you are intending to apply for custody, access, or maintenance in respect of these children. And then the attorney at law will assist by providing services in relation to filing that petition at the family registry of the High Court. And then, of course, the other party will be served. There are instances where persons ask, what happens if the other party it cannot be found? The court does make legal provisions in relation to substituted service and other forms of service where the other party, you were unable to locate the other party, or for instance, where the other party is out of the jurisdiction. All right. And so then the matter will, barring the court date, the court process will be initiated and begin at that point. And your attorney at law will then advise you on some of the things that will happen at court. And your attorney at law will be there to guide you and provide all legal advice to you in relation to this process. And so just to conclude, you need to now know what are some of the documents needed for the divorce petition, or some of the documents that you should take to the attorney if you want to visit them to query or to perhaps consider this process. Well, for instance, you'll need your original marriage certificate. And then if you have children, perhaps you need to also take your original birth certificates for all of the children where they are below the age of 18 years old. So that's just a very quick snippet and overview of the law governing the divorce procedure and the law governing the dissolution of marriages in court.
You have been listening to It's the Law, a program which gives an in-depth look at the laws of Guyana. It is produced and presented by the Guyana Association of Women Lawyers. The contents of this program are not to be taken instead of legal advice.